Well, everyone, as Luke and I are recording this episode, it is Thursday, September 11th. And us here, we just want to give a quick moment of silence for all the first responders, for everybody that was involved in 9/11. Thank you.
We got to this one address. I said, this one goes around back. He went around back, boom, drove off, left them right at the stop.
That was after getting hit by a car.
Wait, you got hit by a car?
I ended up drinking 24 Bud Lights in about 48 minutes. Drunken nomad stumbles out in the road and he hit me going 30 miles an hour.
Well, it's kind of hard to be excited in this moment with a lot of shit that has happened in this country in the past week. Like you just heard at the top, it is September 11th. And a lot of people know what happened yesterday on September 10th. And that was the assassination of Charlie Kirk. And I just want to start it off by saying, no matter what side you fall on, the left or the right, Republican, Democrat, nobody deserves that for just speaking what he believes in. Peacefully, too, That's what Charlie Kirk did. He would have debates with people with microphones in front of in front of a crowd. Just a peaceful debate, conversation with another human being. And he gets murdered. For what? Freedom of speech? What? What has it's sad. It's like the US is becoming a third world country right now. And there's been, like I said, so many things that's happened this past week. And we're going to talk a little bit on all of them. So, and yeah, it's man.
I wanted to let you go, man. I didn't want to interrupt or interject, but we have times when we have to, because obviously with the schedules of things, there's days, we can record on and best days to do it. And that was always the thing we talked about with scheduling prior, to not over, if we can't do something, to not try to kill ourselves multiple times in a week, best we can. And as it just, it is of the night we record, with it being September 11th and everything else, when we had the docs lined up, everything in it was just we had a few things, Teamster, not really UPS related, Teamster related on mine, and then we always find something we could laugh at. And we had because the Phillies Karen thing had happened right before we put that in the doc, because that had happened right after we recorded the last episode. And then you just look at everything else, and it just led up to with Charlie Kirk yesterday. And yeah, to record it definitely is like a somber thing, because I, for one, wasn't we're just going to kind of go with it. I feel like, in a sense of we weren't going to go with the timeline on things, but I wanted to mention, because of the political assassination stuff, and we had said it right before we recorded, And I said, there's been a lot of things that get argued or brought up in the social media realm, and right now it is it can be very, very venomous on that shit. But there's been stuff that's like been brought up, and there's something that I wanted to mention, because when this had happened in June, we didn't bring up, like, with Melissa Hortman and her family, her husband, and even their poor fucking dog got murdered in June for political violence in the same regard. And because of what we normally do with as a podcast, we that wouldn't be something of bringing up, not just like because of what we have lined up, whether it be UPS related. We try to not get political. With political violence is never fucking okay either side, but like with politics in general, we tried to not bring stuff up. But that was a serious incident, and because like literally with Charlie Kirk, and this isn't to compare either one of the two. One was a very public assassination, and one was in their own home. But it's just one of those things that, like, we had the Ukrainian refugee, get murdered on the subway, and then there's a school shooting that happens the same day that Charlie Kirk gets assassinated. And like school shootings in general, it's just people have become just desensitized to it, to where it really isn't even news at that point, because everybody's like covering the person that just got assassinated publicly. And it's fucking terrible that we're in, like, this is what it's
That's the
come
state of
to.
mind.
Yeah. No. And we've had all this bad shit happen, and then we're recording on the 24th anniversary of 9/11, and then Charlie Kirk just happened. So yeah, had to bring up Melissa. Like, political violence is fucking, we're playing a dangerous fucking game like this. This shit's got it. We can't, this road is not what, we can't fucking go down it. This is the way we fucking destroy ourselves. This is it. If this fucking if it becomes this, and that is true, you can't, like, I didn't know Melissa Hortman, like, I know she was a, I believe a senator. She was a lawmaker, and she was a Democrat. That's all I really know about her. Charlie Kirk, I didn't listen to a lot of Charlie Kirk on his podcast or anything, but with videos and debates and clips, you see, like,
all over social media.
You see plenty of it. And no matter what you want to say, like I said, for me, like, I'm somebody that I feel like people just always assume that I'm like some fucking, I don't want to say a staunch conservative, but people normally just assume that I'm like a Republican or a conservative. And I always laugh because I think it's my accent. I'm just, when I shave my head and I got this West Virginia accent, and I'm probably, especially if I'm wearing a Harley shirt, which I'll probably have cargo shorts and flip flops with and throw people off. But I'm like, for somebody, I would have had a lot of arguments. With, I know I don't want to say probably, like, I consider myself a moderate, but this is a guy, like, I'm pro-choice. I've voted for George Bush. I voted for Barack Obama twice, and I fucking have, like, I've always, I feel like I've tried to stay I don't try to stay neutral, but I've talked so much shit on the left now because I've been an independent for about 5-6 years, and people just always assume, then, like, I'll get, like, somebody will say something to me, and I'm always like, I'll say, like, if rather it be Obama or fucking whatever, I would say, oh, I actually voted for the dude. And it's like, you did what? And it's like, fucking, so, I feel like this is coming from a man that would have, like, I would there's a lot of shit Charlie Kirk and I would butt heads on. But like the dude the way he fucking debated people, it might have pissed a lot of people off, but he at least did it in a fucking non-violent. And he was, there's plenty of videos. People are posting all these old quotes of him saying shit and stuff, but there's plenty of videos you see of people that are like, you know, he had talked to transgender people. And from the videos I saw, for the most part, all I saw, he'd said to the crowd, please be respectful. And, you know, was being polite. And the most importantly, no matter, like I said, it doesn't matter what fucking side you're on, whether you love or hate this guy. It can be somebody like I'll just bring up Kamau Bell. It's somebody, for example, on the left that had a show, United Shades of America, that I thought he was always good at talking to people. And especially, you know, the first time I ever saw him, he was talking to the KKK. And that was that episode. And it obviously interested me. I was like, what the fuck? You know, it makes you like, it doesn't matter who it would be, but somebody like them, like that, like how Charlie Kirk was, to sit down and engage is what is so important, that we can't get away from, of having to be able to have
conversation,
a conversation, whether it be a political debate or a fucking whatever it would be, of something of a disagreement, rather it be a family issue, a work issue, or something. You have to be able to communicate. It's just like to try to when something like this happens, it just sets shit so far back. And it's just like, God, because now it's just like, who the fuck, like, as we record this, we're not going to get into like the new people know, you know exactly what we know if it's been on the news. People, there was a video, but so far Cheater is at large and not caught, and that may be different by the time this airs. But it's just like, I don't know. It's just one of those things where if you end that, then we're just fucked, because no country is ever like, God, I hate to fucking this, because this is mythical and I hate to fucking compare it to this, but this is just like, call it, if you watch the House of the Dragon, the prequel to the Game of Thrones, it's just like, the only way the Targaryen dynasty got destroyed was the civil war they had. That's what fucking killed them. That's what weakened them and eventually got them to fucking, like, it's just like us, like, dude, it's just, the divide just needs to get, I don't know, man. I don't think it's not going to happen right now. And that's what scares the shit out of me. Cause I don't know what, like, dude, it's just, it's fragile right now, man. And I'm worried. I am, dude. Man, I'm fucking concerned. I don't know. I don't think this is the time. Oh God, I don't want to get into that, because but I'm worried. I'm not feeling great about a lot, but I'm hoping and pray. Like, I just fucking feel like, that people somehow we got to move in a step in the right direction. And I just don't know, like, the election, we're only in 2025. People were so, like, I don't know if it doesn't even have to be political, man. I wish it could not be political on so many fronts, but Jesus, it's just fucking everywhere because of social media and the internet and smartphones. It's just a different, like, dude, if not, I'll say this. I was saying a lot today, because people that were older with 9/11 happening, I said that, like, it was the only thing of 9/11 is after the fact, like, most people were on a united front of an agreement of everything. Now, people now have got conspiracy theories and the fucking Iraq war. I'm not going to get into all that shit, but I'm just saying, after 9/11, but that was before social media and there wasn't fucking smartphones around to post shit like there can be today. Who knows what the fuck? I just feel like, dude, if 9/11 happened today, God, dude, I feel like half people, there'd be people being like, yeah, we deserve it. And then people would be fucking like, dude, it's fucking crazy, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how to fix it. Like, it's not going to be anything quick, but God, dude, it's just, yeah, but we, you know what, that woman, God, it's like I move on from one thing and go to the other, but I just, like, that woman, the Ukrainian refugee, that happened. That was the first thing that happened, though, I think, as far as all this had.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't even know where to. God, dude, this is we said before we recorded that we were going to do, like, it's just we were going to kind of dive right into it. So this is totally out of our element, but I don't even know, that poor woman fled the fucking war to come over here to get fucking stabbed in the neck on a subway. And it's just like, then you see like the fucking, there's people like mental health wants to get brought up a lot with gun violence. Obviously there's people that it always gets, well, however it works out, I didn't see the offenses, but I also heard that this dude's mom was begging them to keep him in a facility or something because he was like mentally not right. His family fucking told them. He was arrested 14 times. I'm assuming some of those were for violent offenses. But fuck, like, then, you know, you see that on a fucking subway. And it's like, people don't even, like, I'm not saying you got to be fucking superhero out there, but dude, you just see like people on the subway. Nobody even tried to, like.
No, that's the disturbing part. Nobody tried to step in.
Nobody tried to even be like, Jesus, like, I don't know exactly what. I just feel like it would be hard not to fucking react. Like,
right.
If I had my daughter with me or something, I would fucking take her and probably, but you're on a subway, I don't know what the fuck I would do. I would rather fucking get the jump on somebody than fucking sit there and wait. But Jesus.
Right.
Yeah, dude. Seeing that, like, just when that had happened, I was thinking, God, that's going to be so hard to talk about because of just, like, you know, of seeing that and seeing how that could have totally been prevented. And that's just somebody, you know, that wasn't with, not that this has fucking anything, but that was with a knife. That wasn't even with a gun. It just shows, like, I've always hated the argument because I'm on the pro-gun side, but I've always said that the fucking argument of people saying if you wield a assault, like a golf club or something, you could call it an assault golf club and hurt people. And I've always fucking hated that because of ARs, you know, you can't kill fucking 50 people with a golf club. And that always pissed me off. But it's just like, but that, in that regard, it's just like, yeah, that just proves that, you know, there's always going to be violence, and as far as guns go, I've always said that you could ban them tomorrow, and there's so many in circulation that you're never going to fucking be rid. Like, it's like, I don't know, there's lobbyists, both sides. Yes, I'll say both sides sit on their hands with fucking gun laws. I know one side publicly goes at it and the other side publicly defends it, but I'll be damned if you can't tell me that fucking there ain't lobbyists on both sides, deep state style, you know, BlackRock, whatever. We, like, just whoever in our, just getting their pockets fucking filled by fucking, you know, gun lobbyists, because nothing ever, like, you can say that, but nothing ever does get done. And let's just say you ban, like, I've never owned an AR. I have plenty of friends that have them because when I started, the AR ban got lifted a year after I started collecting guns. I've told this story before, and I never really got an AR because I always thought they were going to get banned again, and they just never did. But that was 20 years ago, and if you would ban them, which I'm not against, because I've always thought that they would, if they had to make a move because they had been banned before. I was always a pistol and shotgun guy. But it was like, it was one of those things that you still need to have proactive solutions to prevent this because it does not stop it. I know 3 people right now, and this is aside from the gun manufacturing place that I deliver to, where there's a hell of a lot more than 3 people. I know 3 people that are just Joe Blows that can build them. They can build it. So I'm like, dude, I know 3 fucking people that build them outside of, counting the people I know at the gun place. I know 20. So it's one of those things like you still have to take measures to prevent things. And I brought up Alabama schools. You can say what you want to about Alabama, but the way they've put those things where you pull out, they look like they're just up against the wall and they got a handle. You pull them out and they're a big fucking container, and you get into that thing and it's fucking fortified. You can't fucking, unless you have a fucking bazooka, you're not going to penetrate that thing. And no matter what you want to say about it, that is a proactive solution that I think still needs to be in place. No matter what gun laws would change, that is a proactive solution where it would at least prevent, like fucking people get barricaded in there and wait for police to arrive. It's unfortunate that this is where we're at in fucking society, but it's like you can spin your wheels about gun laws all you want. Nothing has gotten done in fucking years. And I've said, and like, I don't want to keep bringing up old shit because it's been on past episodes. But other than bump stocks, nothing's been fucking taken off. Like, it's been, and you can say what you want to about sides of government. I don't want to get political about it. Obama didn't have both sides of the government, but Biden did. So if they wanted to write something in at that point, but they fucking, to my knowledge, it never happened. And if it did, it didn't fucking happen in time. So what the fuck, you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. It just feels like there's like it's becoming a thing of a divide, just like these other, like I was talking about abortion earlier and shit like that. I think I want to make sure to say it, and I've said it before because that's always a hot topic. I may be pro-choice, but my entire immediate family is pro-life, and I've always said that I'm not for late-term abortions, and I think that there could be some type of ironclad compromise on both ends of this, but that'll never fucking happen. And I'm not saying just with Roe v. Wade. I'm saying to where both sides could make agreements that the other side would not like, but fucking move towards something to where it just wouldn't. I don't like the state thing, but I'm not the fucking in power. So, like, I think that it's going to be a tool to be used for elections for decades to come now. And so, yeah, I'm always open to talk. I don't care to fucking bring, like, that's not something you bring up that much. It's not like we know where we stand, but we respect where we stand, and it's like, you know what I mean? You can do shit in a respectful manner with stuff like that. And that's one that always gets, it's a hot button revolving issue with elections and politics and all that. But, oh, fuck, man.
Yeah.
God dang.
It's a lot.
It is a lot. And I'm sorry if people would, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I want to say one more thing before I let you go on that. And I'm going to, but I respect anybody's, I will listen to anybody's opinion on what you want to talk about with any of this. It's not what we have a platform. It's not our platform to do so. Like, we don't want to make it that, but when you have, even if it's not like we're not Jason and Travis Kelce or Joe Rogan or, you know what I mean? But we still, like, I feel like it needs it, you know, a message more than like a message of, we always wanted to try when things like this had happened. We've never had like a barrage of bad shit like this ever come up when we would record in all this time. But anytime it would happen, we would always try to find the positive out of it and leave the listeners with something good to take away from it. And right now that's hard to come, like, to dredge, you know, to try to dredge up, but it's just one of those things of, you know, just try to, at the very least, be respectful to one another the best you can, because there's a lot of things I've noticed, you know, well, especially on social media. I haven't really been on Instagram much, or TikTok, but I've been on Facebook a lot. And there's one thing I've noticed where it's like, when I say be kind to one another, to the individual, it's like people have let whatever side they've now become on, like, speak completely for them with somebody that they may know personally, that, like, you know, like Kamala Harris and Donald Trump have no idea who the fuck you are. You know what I mean? But whoever you might be speaking to might be, or the prominent fucking, you know what I mean? If you're allowing a fucking political party to literally disrupt your dialect with people you don't, you know, not necessarily even have to run into your everyday life, but people you may know and live amongst you, then, I mean, if it's that bad, then just stay off the socials, I guess. But man, it's, you know, no matter what side you're on, I feel like, dude, there has to be some empathy at the very least. You cannot agree. You can fucking, you know, not like somebody as much as you want, but when two fucking little girls lose their dad, I mean, that at the very least ought to fucking, you know, I don't know if Melissa Hortman and her husband, I don't know if they had any kids or not, but anybody, I mean, dude, at the very least, you got to feel for their family, man. His wife and fucking daughters, God.
And that's the hardest part too. Like, when you become a parent, you put yourself in those shoes with a lot of different situations. And like, that's one of the hardest parts for me is, like, you know, there's, you know, his wife's got to tell his kids, like, daddy's not coming home tonight. Like, and, you know, I can never imagine being that parent that has to tell your kids that. And like, in such a way like that too. And you know, it's, I mean, to turn it back towards like what we do in UPS, and you know, we are out there in harm's way. You know, we are out there on the road. There's other drivers around us. All it takes is for someone to make a mistake, whether it be, you know, looking down at a text message. Maybe they had one too many at happy hour. You know, it's like, and then they decide to get behind the wheel. Like, we are out there on the road with these crazy, stupid drivers, these other people driving. And, you know, and I mean, you can look at too, unfortunately, the situation that happened with Frank Ordonez. Like, wrong place, wrong time. Like, it's, you know, it could happen to any one of us. Where,
like we were saying, dude, you could just walk up in a residential, see the wrong thing, dude. You know, and just fucking.
you weren't supposed to see that. Like, and then,
Right.
yeah,
I know that seems a bit. It seems a bit like, compared to what had happened. Obviously, it's very far fetched of where we're going to be, maybe. But it's still, we are, like, when you look at it like that, like, you leave, and then you don't come back. And
right.
and that happened to Frank Ordonez's daughters. That's exactly what happened to them.
Yeah.
And all the drivers we know, unfortunately, since this podcast has started, that have passed away. And there's been, recent, and not really recent, but I know, like, within like a year ago, I feel like there was a female feeder driver. She was the most recent one in my memory, but I know she had kids. They were older, but they were, they weren't older, they were young adults, but you know what I mean. They were like maybe like college age but whatever. Yeah. They still lost their mother, and they fucking, it's just like, it's yeah, man. When you look at it in that regard, it just really fucking hits home.
Mm-hmm.
And that just, yeah. I mean, the close calls that probably every driver that is listening to this right now
has had one.
About it. Yeah, if you've been driving for some time, doing this job for a while, you've had a couple close calls. I've had at least, like, legit, real close calls. I've had 3. And I mean, like, where it could have been real bad that I could think of. But there's probably more that I casually didn't even see, of maybe like somebody in a box truck coming down fucking Patterson Drive and just slammed on the brakes, and I wasn't paying attention. They would have T-boned my ass. You know what I mean? You don't know.
Right.
But it's, when you put it in that, like, you think about it like that, dude, yeah, it's fucking. And the jobs that are, you always think of jobs being more dangerous than ours, which there are definitely a lot more dangerous jobs than what we do, obviously. But, like, then when you have that gut check moment of times, and I'll never forget the one time that I'm sure, I don't know if I've had to have told this. This was years ago on a Saturday, and I went up this fucking road that was like a driveway mountain, and this was a day I didn't know the area I was in, and it was just, I had my old 700, thank God, because they didn't stall when you would if you slammed on the gas, they went. They might have had governors, but this road was, I wasn't going to be getting the fucking 70. So I hit it fast, and it just was one of these, like, mountain driveways. The driver didn't deliver shit there. I didn't know this, obviously, but so I'm going up, and it gets fucking higher and higher and steeper, and I'm just like, the road is fucking terrible. There's ruts in it. There's just like, I get to the point where I'm steep enough that I'm kind of freaking out, that because, like, I'm in the fucking woods, but I'm also kind of like in the mountainous area. So if I go backwards, like, I'm going to fucking fly back, and I'm going to probably have a bunch of trees impale me.
Yeah.
So, and I got to the point where I even put, like, my hand on the seatbelt, because if I felt like I was going to slip, I was going to jump out, and I thought it was coming. I was like, I'm fucking jumping out. I'm not fucking dying. Well, I ended up being able to make it to the top. And I barely fucking, I'm telling you, dude, when I got up there, my legs were shaking.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, fucking shaking uncontrollably. I got out, and when I turned, like, I parked the truck and I got out, that dude got out. I mean, he was some old fucking good old boy, and he just said, "What the fuck are you doing up here?" And I was like, "I don't know what I'm doing up here." And that was like the last reminder that I've had that, like, man, this job can be dangerous, because, like, yeah, dude, if I would have frozen and just went backwards, like the way that was set up, there was big ass pine trees and branches, like that probably, I don't know, that one might have done me in. So it just like, I'll never forget how bad I was shaking. I was like trying not to shake once that dude came out, and I couldn't stop. I'm just sitting there fucking knock-kneeing myself.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's just, I mean, to put a, to kind of end that one there is, like you said, love one another. And, it's unfortunate.
It doesn't have to be as extreme.
It's
like,
just,
you don't have to look at it.
It's unfortunate, like what's all happened here in America in the past week. It's very unfortunate, and I mean, I guess all I can say is rest in peace to everyone that was involved in all these horrific events that just happened.
Yes, absolutely. I hope to their families and stuff, man. Mm-hmm. It's just like, I hope they're able to all find peace. And it's just, I think it's just one of those things to put off, like, as a side note to it, to put of people, like, this was obviously a lot of instances that people heavily have debated. And like I said, don't try your damnedest to not lose sight of some type of empathy, because it's fucking, we can't go down this fucking road like this. It ain't gonna end well. So that's just, we can only control what we control. Love one another out there, folks.
So, Luke, besides that, how was your week?
God, it's like when you go from all that to talk about your work week, it's like hard to bitch about your work week. But I did have an interesting one though. We had some oh boy, now we can talk about union locals if you want. I'll bring up mine because I brought this shit up, but you don't have to bring up yours if you don't want to. But there was some construction workers. I'm not sure what company they worked for, like pipeliners or whatever, that our local represents, and they weren't happy with the people. They were going to try to replace one of the people that is in there with their own guy, and that just wouldn't have been good for us, as they said, because they said, like, grievances wouldn't get checked, grievances wouldn't get paid, stuff would fall to shit. And they were just saying, and it's pretty solid at my local. From what I've seen across the podcast world, it can definitely be a lot worse. And so I go to this meeting, and I'm like, in my mind, like, I'm sitting there, and I'm like, God, I wonder if this is going to be like an old school union thing where people are going to really get fucking pissy with one another. Yeah. And we get fucking shouting match, but it was fucking really low key. It was a huge disappointment, but they didn't get the vote because we had more people, and we'd have vetoed it anyway. So the people we have stayed in place, which was good. Mm-hmm. And I mean, that was kind of how it started, and the weather had kind of peaked up a little bit today, and obviously since we said we recorded on 9/11, the work week's not quite over yet, but I put it in about a 10-hour banger the last 2 days, so I've been over 9.5, but we'll see what tomorrow holds.
There you go. Yeah, it was a long week, despite everything that's happened. It just felt long. Like it was like Tuesday. Was it Tuesday? Was it Tuesday? I think it was Tuesday. It was like Tuesday night, and like my wife and I are on the couch watching TV, and I was like, God, I can't believe it's only Tuesday. Like it was just one of those weeks, dude, where it just dragged on.
Right.
And but if you want me to go into it, because I've talked about it before, we had our softball playoffs. And
dude, please.
And so with the softball playoffs, it was a best of 3 series. So first team to win 2 games, goes on. So it's win or go home, basically. And so the first game. Let me start off with this. This team that we were playing beat us both times we played them in the regular season. They were like 2 out of our 5 losses that we had the entire season. 2 of them came from them. And so the first game score was, I believe, I want to say it was 21-18. I want to say it was 21-18, and they ended up beating us in that one. I'm looking for it now, but I can't find it. They sent it out before in the group chat. Anyways, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it was like 21-18. And so that was that one. Oh yeah, there it is, 21-18. And then so the second game came in. So we were like, I mean, I was pissed. It was like, you never want to lose the first one, because now you got to win 2 in a row.
Yeah, right.
Now you got to win 2 in a row. And so in the second game, I mean, me being pissed, I think helped, because I've never done this before, and I've played softball for probably like 13 years now. And I had myself a game personally where I hit back-to-back home runs. And I've never had that happen before, where I got up, bam, hit a 3-run shot, got up next time, bam, hit one over the fence again. All right, that usually doesn't happen with me. But we ended up diming them in that game. Diming meaning we 10-run ruled them in the 5th inning. That one was by a score of 16-6. And so now we split the series 1-1. Going into game 3, we're feeling it. Like our bodies are starting to get sore. 2 games in a row is sore. And so, third game comes in. And and this game started off a little rough for us, where they scored, I believe, 3 or 4 runs in the first inning against us. And it was like, God damn it. Like, we don't want to start like that. And so what ended up happening was we ended up getting up on them. The score was 13-4. All right. It was the 5th inning. I was the winning run to 10-run rule them on first base. All right. We got 1 out, and I'm on first. The next guy up hits a fly ball deep to like left center field. And so I'm tagging up at first, and it's deep enough where I'm like, I got to go to second if this dude catches it. So he catches the ball. I take off running for second base. I'm safe there. We got 2 outs now. All right. Next guy up, as I'm on second, next guy up hits a pop fly almost in the same spot to left center field. 2 outs. I take off running. I'm not watching the ball. I take off running. All right. And I'm rounding third, and I can see the look on my teammates' faces, like pop fly, can of corn, routine fly ball. Bro, this dude dropped the fly ball. He dropped it. I score, game over. We 10-run rule them again. He dropped the fly ball to end his team's season. Man, oh man. I mean, if there was, yeah.
Dude, it's like he probably felt like Bill Buckner.
Oh, dude, I couldn't even imagine that feeling. You lost it for your team. Routine fly ball, dude. Routine fly ball. So we ended up winning. We don't play this Wednesday. We'll be playing the following Wednesday for the finals, and then whoever wins that game goes to the championship. So we're still alive. We're still here.
So had he caught that, that'd have been it. That'd have been game over.
I mean, no, it would have went in.
You tied it up. Is that right? Or no,
no,
it was tied. It was tied.
No, we were up by 9
in that last game.
Yeah, we were up by 9. I was the winning run to 10-run rule them.
10. Oh, okay.
And he dropped it, which I scored, and that was game over. And then that was the 10-run. Yep, the mercy rule kicks in then. But,
nice.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine being that dude. That's rough. That's rough. That's a rough way to end it,
dude. If you would have dropped that, if you would have dropped in that guy, how depressed would you have been doing this? How much worse would you have been? Just pissed off, mad at yourself.
Yep.
God, I'd so get it. I remember haven't done a team sport. Well, that's not necessary. Oh God, yeah, it is true. It's still been 10 years. I was about to say I did come back to play football, but that was 10 years ago. God, that didn't seem like that. That went quick. Good Lord. Well, should we? Since we were talking about softball and keeping it with baseball, should we talk about Carol Tomei's sister, the Phillies Karen?
The Phillies Karen, dude, that feels like it happened like a year ago already.
I know. Now because of everything else, yeah, it's like it seemed like it's been like 3 months. I know, right. It's so true.
We'll keep this short and sweet with this one.
Yeah.
I will tell you, if I was that father, I get it. I understand why he gave the ball back to her. I understand. He wanted to de-escalate the situation in front of his family. I get that. But let me tell you something. If that was me, I would not have given the ball back. I would have sat down. I would have turned a cheek to her, and she would have looked like a real prick. But you know what? I'm glad it worked out in the end for him and his family. All right. The kid got a signed bat from the dude that hit the home run baiter. I mean, they got an RV and tickets to the World Series. Like all this shit now. So it's just like, you know what? I'm glad it worked out for that family in the end. But man, I'll tell you what, if that was me, that Karen would not have got her way.
Oh, dude. I was thinking to myself, like, fucking Ashley might have fucking cold cocked that woman. We would have probably gotten a lawsuit. We would have, America would have loved us, but she would have definitely sued us.
I mean, that's the crazy part too, is this man totally could sue her for putting her hands on him.
Yeah,
like,
I guess
grabbing his arm like that.
Yeah.
And the law would have had his back. But yeah, anyways. Don't be that person.
Yeah, don't be the Phillies Karen.
Don't be a Phillies Karen.
She did look a lot like Carol though.
God. I know she did. Yeah.
Oh shit, dude.
But anyways, yeah.
I don't know if we had. I think that was about all we had in the docks. I knew this was going to be. It was a rough one, man. It was. Like we were saying, dude. Just everybody, all the men and women out there that listen, whether you're a driver or a spouse or just a fan of the show, we appreciate all of you. And just we're not here to tell you how to vote and what political way you need to go. That's not our business. Just do your best to not, just when things happen, don't celebrate somebody getting fucking killed in a way. Like, just
be kind to one another, guys.
Yeah, no matter what, whether it's a Democrat, Republican, or a fucking independent, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. You can't just don't do that, because it makes It just is it
makes you look bad.
It
And plus,
desensitizes.
it'll probably get you fired from your job because that's happening a lot right now.
Oh yeah, I've seen
a lot
that.
of people are getting fired from their jobs by posting about they're celebrating someone's death like that. So, yeah, I would say, yeah, dude, just to put a bow on this one here, the best we could, it's just be kind to one another. All right. There's no reason for that. And like Luke said, to everybody, whether you're a spouse, whether you just listen or you're a driver, we love you guys. And, thank you for supporting the show, honestly.
Yeah.
And about supporting.
You guys mean everything, man.
Exactly. And about supporting the show, I think it's time we recognize our Patreon subscribers. So, huge shout out to Tony, Starla, Sam, Luke, Jacob, Tyler, Jeff, and Adam. Thank you guys.
And Chuck.
And Chuck, the newest Patreon member, Chuck. Thank you, Luke.
You guys all do fucking that's like it. We didn't want to shout you guys out in the beginning either, because it was like we knew it was going to be tough, hard stuff to talk about. So we did things a little bit backwards, and I'm kind of glad we did it that way, because it was it is now, all we can do is move forward and try to, just like I said, just live, just enjoy. Like, it's just like if anything, just people you love, whether it's your kids or your fucking friends, whatever it may be, man, just remember what's important in your life and stick with that, and you'll be fine. But man, yeah, I'm one person, like, I feel like I'm calling the pot calling the kettle black with social media stuff, because I do see, like, sometimes I just get I've ranted on Facebook literally for almost 20 years now, I've realized, and maybe I just need to fucking quit. And that's not just with politics, that's with anything. A lot of it's West Virginia football, which that's another fucking rant to get into, but there's no reason to get into that. As this gets released, hopefully we won the backyard brawl against Pitt, even though it's not looking fucking likely. There we go.
So thank you guys. Yes, love one another, be kind to each other out there. All right, I'm Dave, my co-host Luke. We'll see you guys next week.
Later, everybody.